Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Rhoda.
Shabbat Shalom, Rhoda.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you back at you, darling.
Rhoda.
Good to hear your voice, honey.
That sounds like Rhoda. This is Beth. Beth Cantor.
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom.
I thought I'd play my flute before the meeting, but no.
Hello.
No, I'm kidding.
I know.
Love you all.
The sun is bright and a beautiful Shabbos.
Yes. It's beautiful.
Shabbat Shalom. How are you?
Shabbat Shalom.
Hi,
Shabbat.
Rabbi. How you doing? Hello, Steve. Hello, Chuck.
Shabbat Shalom.
I never realized what a nice couch Neil has. Hello, Cantor. Hello.
Okay.
It's like HGTV. Hello, Doreen. Brings you. Oh, there he is. Neil. How are you? Okay.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
How you doing? Hi, Beth. Hello, Neil. It's the Rabbi, not just any Rabbi. The Rabbi.
Our Rabbi.
Yes.
Our loving, brilliant Rabbi.
Yeah, bring it. Okay.
Where is he? Oh,
Where? I don't know.
Okay.
Sherry is here. Okay, how are you, Chazen? Bustis.
Here I am, ready to go.
Okay, yes, I can detect that note of enthusiasm.
All right, I'm going to mute everybody, and I'll unmute the Cantor and the Rabbi.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Usually people would like to do the other way around. Okay. Hello, Dr.
Aleichem, Arachei Yasharim, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch. Lachem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon.
Melech,
Amlachim Kadosh Baruch.
Kadosh Baruch
Shalom, Shalom,
Okay, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for coming. The Torah portion this Shabbat, according to my ever-reliable Publix calendar, is Korach. Okay, and I'm not going to talk about Korach yet.
ידיד נפש, הרחמן, משוך עבודה, ברצונך, ירוץ עבודה, יד, We are at page number 15. Let's go to sing to Adonai. Let's go. You can go from the kitchen to the living room and sing there.
I just want to point out that our dear friend, Mr. Stephen Halpern, wins the award for coolest background. That is that like Armageddon. That was an early video game where you get to blow up the world. Yes, yes, and we see that is actually happening. Okay.
Diffuse reflection. Diffuse reflection.
Diffused reflection?
Yes, diffuse reflection.
Oh, yes. He's a physicist. He talks like that all the time. Okay.
Yes, it's like Gog and Magog.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go and sing the Lejadodí.
Right.
Yeah, that is on page number 21.
21.
Leja, lejadodí, nikrat, nikrat, kala, pene, pene, Shabbat mekabela. Leja, lejadodí, nikrat, nikrat, kala, pene, pene, Shabbat mekabela, la, 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 lejadodí.
Lekrat, kala,
פני פני שבת מקבלה, לך נורי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת מקבלה, שמור ושחור בלימודיך, תשמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת וליתי לה 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 לחדודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת מקבלה לקראת דודי לקראת קלה פני פני שבת מקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור המלאכה, בראש מכאב ובסוכה, צומח במחשבת קהילה, לחדודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת מקבלה, לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, שבת לקלה. בואי בשלום,
Okay, you can rise if you like.
עטרת בלה,
גם
גם
בשמחה, face the eastern wall.
ובצהולה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה, בואי חלה, לה 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 לך
דודי, לקראת קלה,
שבת לקלה, לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, שבת לקלה, אבל לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת לקלה, לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת לקלה.
All right, we've got the Psalm for Shabbat on page 23.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולשמח לשמך עליון, ולשמח לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר קראתך, באמונתך אלוהים, ערב עשור וערב ולערב, עיון בחידון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולשמח לשמך עליון, ולשמח לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך יענן. מעשיך אדוני מאוד, עקום אשר מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ושמח לשמך עליון, ושמח לשמך עליון. ולשמח לשמך עליון, ולשמח לשמך עליון.
All right, continuing now. Okay, it's the Baruch Hu, so now is generally the time when I talk. As the Cantor says, in that charming way, you talk. Okay, so I'm going to talk. Okay, stand back, he's talking. The Torah portion for this Shabbat is really a very striking one. I shouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but it really is. You got good guys, you got bad guys, the good guys win, the bad guys lose, and so should it continue now and for all time. Unfortunately, it doesn't usually. Torah portion is called Korach, and what I really like about that is that this was the bad guy, and yet they named the Torah portion after him. Moses, let's talk about Moses first. Moses is not getting any younger, as my mother used to say, and he's got all kinds of tsaras, and he never takes a day off, and he's a class A clerical workaholic, and I have this mental picture of him shuffling through the wilderness for 40 years, pursued by a congregation. Well, if you extrapolate from the 600,000, supposedly there were 600,000 men over the age of 21 who escaped from Egypt. Now, as I say, if you extrapolate from that number, that every one of those men over the age of 21 was already married from the time he was 18, most likely. He had his wife and he had his 2.5 children, and they're all following Moses. So it was Rabbi Gunther Plaut who wrote a wonderful commentary on the Torah, who said, you're talking 1.5 million human beings going through the Sinai Peninsula for 40 years and laying aside the idea that the ecosystem could not possibly maintain that many people. Nonetheless, just think about it, okay? 1 or 2 Jews can be difficult. Here you've got 1.5 million Jews. And it's just like when I took my first pulpit in North Carolina. Imagine a box. And in the box, you find the following: Jews who believe in God, Jews who don't believe in God, secular Jews, atheist Jews, Jews who could care less, Jews who say, Rabbi, I'm not Jewish, but here's my kid. I don't practice Judaism, but here's my kid. Make my kid a Jew in just 13 easy years. And usually you don't get them that long. And they're all in this box, and they say, Rabbi, make us all happy. Now, you know, and I know what they say about Jews. Jews are just like everyone else, only more so. How on earth can you possibly make that entire congregation happy? Well, luckily, nobody, no rabbi that I know, well, there's always another rabbi, there's always another Cantor. Korach comes along. And Korach comes along, originally, you'd think this guy was doing you a favor. And you've met people like this before. They want to be your best friend. And you know they're going to stab you in the back when they can. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about poor old Moses. I really hope, if God is merciful, I get to meet Moses in Olam Haba, in the world to come, because I have some questions. But this fellow Korach comes along, and he says, he says to Moses and Aaron, you take too much upon yourselves, B'nai Levi, sons of Levi. For behold, all the congregation are holy, and the Spirit of God rests upon them as well as upon you. Why, therefore, he says, do you raise yourselves above the congregation? And when Moses heard their words, he fell upon his face, which is not really the most heroic response you could make to a rebellion. But he's tired. He never took a day off. He's always walking through the wilderness with his little attaché case. And every time he turns around, he has these 1.5 million Jews following him. So he's really not up for a rebellion. And Korach, just to make life even more interesting, they get themselves cohorts. They get themselves bully boys. In this case, Datan and Aviram, or as we used to call them, Dosan and Aviram, both of whom you recall, they kind of telescoped them into one character named Dathan, and Edward G. Robinson played him in the movie The Ten Commandments. And I think nobody does a villainy like Edward G. Robinson. Moses, you got to take direction from us, Moses. We can't take this anymore. Yeah. Or was that Cagney? I don't know. All right. Moses says to God, don't pay any attention to them, God. I haven't done anything to them or from them. And really, I'm very honest. And God says, I know you are. He says, do you want me to smite them in an instant? And Moses says, no, that wouldn't look good. Because he's not only thinking of himself, he's a very self-effacing kind of fellow. He's thinking about the Israelites, because the Israelites are tired of him and they're ready for the next big thing, which could very well be Korah. He's got the looks, he's got the stamina, he's got the speaking capabilities, and he goes and he gets Datan and Aviram to help him. Hi, Linda. And Datan, of course, and Aviram, these are the fellas, if you recall, way back in Egypt, Moses woke up one day and said, I'm at least half Israelite, as well as being Egyptian. Let me go out and see the welfare of my brothers and sisters, which he does. And he sees an Egyptian taskmaster beating a Hebrew slave. And Moses looks left and right and sees nobody watching him. So he kills the taskmaster and buries his body in the sand. The next day, Moses comes out again, all ready to have a nice day, walk around, fight injustice and defeat evil. And he comes upon two Israelites who are fighting, just verbally. That's what Jews do. Jackie Mason used to say, Jews never get to punching each other. A Jew will say, one more word and I would have punched him in the nose, but they never get to that one more word. Okay, so he comes upon Datan and Aviram and he says, boys, break it up. We are not the enemy. The Egyptians are the enemy. And instead of saying, gee, thank you, we appreciate the remonstration, they look at him with that look and they say, who made you king over us? Are you going to kill us as you killed the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing that is my homicide against the Egyptian taskmaster is known. So he runs away that night. But now we're back in the wilderness, and lo and behold, like a bad penny, Datan and Aviram show up again. And Moses says to them, will you come over to my side? And they say, no, they say, and they distort everything. It's fascinating, and I'm sure this never happens anymore, that the spokespeople for a particular movement will, dare I say it, lie, will perhaps stretch the truth, will perhaps omit some important things that happened which don't support their case. It all goes back to Datan and Aviram. They say, why should we follow you? You took us out of a land flowing with milk and honey, and you're throwing sand in the faces of these honest, upright men who are simply trying to voice an opinion that's different from yours. And Moses says, I can't take this. I really can't take this. And God says, I tell you what, why don't you have your boys and their boys show up tomorrow? I'll take care of it, Moses. Don't worry. See, that's the thing. When you've got God on your side, things go very well. Well, the next day, of course, they show up, and the deal was both sides, because Korach is a Levite, Moses and Aaron are Levites, they should show up with fire pans. And I'm sure you've seen a fire pan. When you did your tour of New England and you went to those antique shops where you knew you absolutely weren't going to buy anything, but then you fell in love with the end table that looked just like the one that belonged to Aunt Florence, let her rest in peace, so you bought it. Well, fire pans are, they're just like those pans that the Puritans used to warm the bed in the dead of winter. And dead of winter is something we used to have a lot of in New England, and I'm pretty sure they still do. It has a brass or copper pan. You put red hot coals in it, which will certainly make an impression on your house guest. There's a long wooden handle, and that's what you use. Really, there's no difference between that and the fire pans, which Moses and Aaron and Korach and his 250 followers assemble. And the next day, they meet in the middle of the street, just to the left of the Reubenites and to the right of the Gadites. And it's the hot, open sun. In fact, it's high noon. And Moses stands there with Aaron, and they hear the music, the familiar niggin in their ears. Do not forsake me, oh my darling, on this our wedding day. And Korach is coming at him, and just at the last minute, the ground opens up, and Korach and his men go down to hell. We don't know if Datan and Aviram are with them, I'm pretty sure. But and then the ground, of course, closes up. Now, I'm sure you've had issues at work or relatives you cannot stand. Wouldn't it be swell if you too could implore the Almighty to open up the earth and swallow up a few people? What can I say? So this is what happens. And Moses tried everything. He tried reason. He tried appealing to people's good nature. But you know, there are some people in this world, as you know, who have no good nature to spare. Or if they have it, they're wasting it on something totally unnecessary. And what eventually happens with Korach, and this is the kicker, this is the part I like best. They take the fire pans, which Korach and his people conveniently dropped when they fell down to hell. And they say, what do we do with these, God? And God says, well, you know, they were dedicated to me. So you can't throw them away. They're holy. So you hold on to them for the Mishkan, for the sanctuary. And according to legend, I think this is Rashi, according to legend, they take the copper and the brass from the fire pans, they beat it out flat and smooth, and they attach it to the Mishkan. They make it part of the Mishkan. Now, what exactly is that? I'm open to any suggestions. Is there an object lesson there? Is there a warning not to rebel against God? Is there the idea that even the deeds of even evil people can have a positive side? I don't know. I'd like to leave that question hanging. As they say in the Talmud, when there's a question they can't answer, they say, Teku, Tishbi Yavo v'kiyem etzeh. The Tishbite, Elijah, will come and will answer this question at the end of days. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom. It really is a lovely portion. You could take a look at it sometime. Thank you. Take it away. Yes. Okay, Yasher Kochacha.
Okay, let's continue with the Borchu.
Please rise.
Barechu et Adonai Yamevora.
Adonai Amvarach Leolam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai Yamevora. Leolam Vahed.
All right, continuing. It's a lovely English paragraph. Let's find the lovely English paragraph. Well, we'll do it later. There's a nice one on 31. Okay.
ומה ביום ומה בלילה ומבדיל בין יום ולילה אדוני צבאו ושמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני אמרי ברבי.
Amen. Page 29.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו למעלתה. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, נשמנו וקומנו, נשיח בחוקך. ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו ובהם יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תשיג ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen. Page 30 is the Shema. We cover the eyes. Shema
ישראל
Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Li'olam Vahed. All right, in the English, please. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. And these words which I command you this day you shall take to heart. Teach them diligently to your children. Recite them at home and away, night and day. Bind them as a sign upon your hand, as a reminder above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. All right, we'll continue silently to the end of the tzitzit paragraph on 31. And then we'll do an English reading, I think.
Adonai Elohim, amen.
All right, at the bottom right of 31, the Gera Rebbe said, can we do that together, please? The Gera Rebbe said, when one learns the Torah, prays much, and begins to think, I am truly pious, I overlook nothing in the performance of my religious duties. Such a one transgresses the command, do not be seduced by your heart, nor led astray by your eyes. Let such people look at the tzitzit and be reminded who they are. Well, you can't please them all. Okay, we'll continue on page 32.
Mihi
kamocha, Adonai, mihi
kamocha,
kamocha,
nehar
nehedar
b'kodesh.
b'kodesh,
No
no
Rabbi lo tosef ele, no Rabbi lo tosef ele, yalai la 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 la, yalai la la, yalai la 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 la, yalai la la. ונאמר כפעונה ידיעקו, ידו ביד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, לעד ישראל.
Amen. All right, I do have some requests for Refu'ahShelemah, and these include Bruce Martin, Refu'ahShelemah, Carol Godino, Refu'ahShelemah, Carol Custer, Refu'ahShelemah, Sheila Diamond, Refu'ahShelemah, and Chelsea, Refu'ahShelemah. And here we have a goses. Traditionally, this is someone who has 1 foot in this world and 1 foot in the other world. The Hebrew word goses means a flickering flame. It's the father of a colleague of mine. So we pray for him to, I'm sorry, I've never done this before, but to depart this life peacefully. Eliezer Akiva ben Tova. Okay. All right. Any other names?
I'm gonna unmute, Rabbi, I'm gonna unmute everybody because I have a bunch of names from Facebook, but everybody, and I'm gonna call your name and you can say if you have a name, all right? Make it easier that way.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all right, everybody's unmuted. Chuck and Steve, you guys got a name? Nope, okay. How about Ida and Arthur? You gotta unmute yourself. I can't unmute you guys. You gotta mute yourself. All right, let's all right. All right, how about Beth? Beth, you have a name? Chuck, why don't you get yours off?
Feedback.
Paul? Rachel?
Robert, son of Robert Ben Bracha and Maureen D'Alessio.
Okay, Refu'ahShelemah.
Rhoda? Rhoda, do you have any names?
Yes. Helen Irving, Lynn Weinstein, Alan Silverman, and Mark McCowell.
Okay.
Laura's still, Neil, do you have a name?
Okay.
Sherry, you're muted. Do you have a name? I can't unmute you. Sherry, okay, go ahead.
Yes, Rabbi already said my names.
Yes,
Okay, I have some other names from Facebook. Harriet Shergan, Matthew Dixon, James Basmajian, Michael Sachs, Ellie Ben Aaron, Mordecai Mahan, Mordecai Greenstein, Randy Beer, and Harry Tankin. And I'm going to mute everybody again except the Rabbi and the Cantor.
Okay, thank you, Doreen. That was
okay. You're all set. Go ahead.
Thank you. Let's read together the English paragraph on the top left of 33. Ashkivenu. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace, and awaken us again, our sovereign to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people Israel, over Jerusalem and the entire world. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol hamo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim, V'al Kol Haolam Kulo. Amen. 34.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לבורתם ברית עולם, והניעו את בני ישראל אותי לעולם. והריעו את בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
All right, the half Kaddish, page 34. You may rise.
יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה.
Amen.
ועלמא דברה חילותי וימליך מלכותי. בחיי כל וביום ויכול ובחיי לכל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב לברוא משמרה וברך יורם
יתברך
יברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי קדושה בריחו אלא מכל ברכתה ושירתה ושמקתה ותחמתה אמירה מעדה ויתרומם.
All right, the Amidah, 35b, concluding on 38. When you're done, you may be seated.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Shalom, hallelujah, ועל כל ישראל ויברכו הארץ, עושה שלום, שלום, שלום לברכה, ויעשה שלום, hallelujah. ועל כל ישראל. ויבנו
Yashkoach. Rocking the falsetto.
48.
Okay, 47. No.
8.
48.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמרה ועלמה דברה חיבותי ויבליך מחכה וחייכון ביום אפור וחייכו בישראל עלה ובזמן קריב
Amen.
לעולם ולעולם מיה יתברך וישמע ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתנבא ויתעלה ויתעלה וידי קודשיו לכבוד אלא מכל ברכתה ושירתה ושבחתה ונחמתה מנעם ועלמה ושבחתה ונחמתה מנעם ועלמה
Amen.
לכל ישראל כלמבון למשמעיה ממון למשמעיה
Amen.
יש שם רב במשמעיה וקיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל אמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומה ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Amen.
You can do it with the hands. Amen will be like that.
What? Rosh Hashanah?
No, amen. If we have to do like a sign for amen, will be like
Okay.
some ups, yeah.
That's true. Yes. Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right. Working on it. Okay. Okay. That was a lovely full Kaddish. And this is where we have the virtual Kiddush. And we move on to page 51 for the Aleinu. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, בראש עמד למשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כעת, ולא עלינו ככל עבודה. אנחנו קוראים משתחווים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שכולו תשבת ויוצאת הארץ עכשיו יקרו בשמיים ממעל שירתו סוף וגולי ורבים אלוהינו אמן מגנו אפס עולתו הקדוש בתורתו וילדת היום שבא כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ ועל הארץ איתה ומלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Memorials Kaddish. If you're not saying Kaddish, you may be seated. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba. Amen.
Amen.
Shalom divrach chirutei v'yamliach malchutei. V'chayechon v'yimeichon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. B'agalah u'bizman karev. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach v'yolam ulmeil maya. Yitborach v'yishtabach v'yipoar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. V'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran v'alma v'yimru amen.
Amen.
Shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen.
Amen.
Ose shalom b'mamav uyase shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen.
Amen.
All right, before Cantor leads us in the Adon Olam, a few well-chosen words from our wonderful president, is Rita Fleming Klein. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Wonderful to be with you. I have a special message for all of you. Hi, Stevie. For all of you from Annette Finger. She was the phone call that I answered a little while ago, and she's leaving for New York this week. She's going to be with her children. It's been very difficult for her to be alone, and she's braved it very, very well. But she wanted me to tell all of you that she loves you dearly, that she's missed you all these months that we've all been in quarantine, but that she'll be thinking about you and keeping each and every one of you in her prayers. So I will be in touch with her during the year, and but I think we can all feel happy that she's with her family again, because it's been very lonesome for her here. So that's one beautiful message. The other beautiful message I have for you is that you have all made our Shabbat dinner next Friday night a very successful event. Thank you so much. And Eric from Diamond Caterers thanks you too, because we're not only doing something lovely for all of us when we feel like we're in community doing this event, and we'll all get to see you as you drive by on Friday morning to pick up your dinners, but we are helping to keep our Eric in business. Small businesses have been hit very badly. His catering business has been hit very badly. And it was his idea to begin these Shabbat dinners. And we're helping a member of our temple family as well, because Eric is part of us. So I wish you all a good Shabbos. I'll see you next Friday in front of the shul with a mask on between 11:30 and 12:30, and you come and pick up your wonderful dinners. And I send you my love.
Okay, we love you back.
Put in the front of the mask your name so we can know who you are.
Right.
Yes.
Okay?
I promise you I will.
Yes.
Or you can put a picture of yourself.
Okay.
Yes? A picture here so we can know who you are.
The Israelis, I think you heard, developed a mask with a zipper so you can eat through it, but they don't recommend soup or meatballs. So dry food. It's really, I don't know who's buying these things. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Chazan. All right.
Okay, let's do I am tempted to show you a mask. special mass, but I will leave it for the next week.
Yes.
So let's do the Adon Olam, and let's rock with the Adon Olam. So 54, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, Telem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa, V'Chefso Kol, Asai Melech Shemo Nikra. So you can feel, you can do the like when you were at college, yeah? So, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'Telem Kol Yetzir Nivra, Le'ed Nasa, V'Chefso Kol, Asai Melech Shemo Nikra, Ve'achare Kishot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Omer, Ve'hu Yifet Tishbara, Hu Echad, Ein Sheni, Ve'amshilo Le'akriya, Ve'lireishi, Ve'litarti, Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'amisra, Ve'hu Eli, Ve'kaimai, Ve'tzurchem Ve'etzara, Ve'udisi, Malotli, Ve'natosi Ve'yomekra, Ve'hu Eli, Ve'kaimai, Ve'tzurchem Ve'etzara, Ve'udisi, Umanosri, Ve'nat kosim Ve'yomekra, Ve'yaro Akiduki, Ve'isha Ve'ayira, Ve'imoki, Ve'ayati, Ve'ayri Ve'loira, La 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 la
Where is Galia? What have you done with Galia?
I sent her. She's taking the bath.
Well, great. Now,
Personal.
the whole world knows her business. All right.
I unmuted everybody. Ida and Arthur, you can unmute if you want to say hi before the rabbi.
Yeah, let's do the blessing, and then you can talk and talk and talk and talk. Okay?
Okay.
The
Lord bless you and keep you.
The
The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord turn his face into you and grant you peace. We'll say, oh, God bless you all. I am so proud of our congregation.
Miss everybody.
Really, we do. Yes.
God bless
America.
Shalom, our family.
Something. That was wonderful. Thank you, Chazan. Really.
Next year I have to start to study to become an American. So
Thank you. We honored to have you.
I mean, I am already an American because Argentina is in America. But
yes, that is true. Very true. Yes.
That is okay. I will be an American with stars.
Am I supposed to move to Argentina when you become an American?
I don't know if Argentina will exist for that time. So
I'll tell you something funny.
That I used for Walter when he became a citizen, so you can use them too.
Okay.
I'll tell you something funny. Cantor sent in the most beautiful letter. You're going to read it in the package you're going to get for the high holidays. So he sent in the letter, and Joni was sitting to do a little bit of editing and whatever, and a voice came on and identified, this person is from Argentina.
Oh.
They knew by your grammar. It wasn't a stranger. It was part of a service to identify where people are from. And this voice, and they knew by your grammar and your placement of words. And they said,
See?
this person is from Argentina.
It's Grammarly.
This is Ace that is following me.
I did that once, and they said this person is from the Lower East Side of New York. All right. Okay. Coming up.
Good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. See you tomorrow night for Abdallah. Eh?
Yes, Abdallah 8:30.
Abdallah tomorrow night, Monday morning.
7:30. Don't
Cada minyan, Monday morning, and Thursday morning we have a minyan.
Yes.
forget.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you all. Thank you, Doreen.
Bye-bye.
Good Shabbos.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good Shabbos.
Bye, Gesund.
And good Shabbos, bye-bye. Good Shabbos in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Good Shabbos in Florida.
Yes.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs.
Laura.
Schwartz,
How you doing, Laura?
Yeah.
are you planning to go back to New York? Now it's safe to be in New York than to be here, apparently.
Either or not, you gotta turn your sound on. Turn your sound on. We can't hear you. Where'd they go?
Good. No,
You're on the top left.
Arthur, you unmute.
Lo shomim. Lo shomim.
Microphone.
They're not turned on. Ida, turn on the sound.
Oh, you can enjoy them just as much.
Go to the mic.
Hold up something for them to read. Write down.
Yeah, here.
Oh,
Go.
they got it now. All right, they're
All right.
good.
Hi,
Yeah. Hello.
Have a good
Shabbat
Cantor,
Shalom.
ask them again.
Shabbat shalom. Ben.
Okay.
I
So,
think finished the times yet?
now is safe. It's safer to be in New York than in Florida.
That's right. Yeah. And if
Florida's
you
like,
go to New York, you have to be quarantined for 14 days
come from
Yes, you have to be.
in your apartment.
You are not welcome. We are not welcome in New York.
No. No.
New York.
All right,
Okay.
meeting, everybody.
Okay. Shabbat shalom.
Everybody.